Hey, BBN. The Wildcats basketball team is projected to be among the top 5 in the preseason. Will this team be a destructive force for their opponents? Let's see what's new about the Wildcats. Kentucky basketball under Mark Pope is about to enter a season that promises to be unforgettable. Projected as the 4th best team in the 2025-26 preseason by 247 Sports analyst Isaac Trotter, the Wildcats not only maintain their tradition of excellence, but also raise expectations to even higher levels. With an impressive combination of talent, versatility, and depth, this team has all the ingredients to be a true nightmare for their opponents. Kentucky's strength begins with its projected starting lineup, which is simply frightening on paper. Jalen Lowe, the experienced point guard, is seen as the maestro of the offense. His ability to run the pick and roll was described by Trotter as near perfection, making him a constant threat on the court. Furthermore, he possesses the ability to adapt to his teammates' play, which will be crucial to maintaining the team's rhythm during the most competitive games. On the wing, Otega Owa and Denzel Aberdeen form a dynamic duo. Owa, in particular, enters the season as one of the favorites for SEC Player of the Year, and his contributions go beyond statistical numbers. He's the type of player who can change the course of a game with his defensive energy and ability to create plays in critical moments. Aberdeen complements Owa with his offensive versatility, capable of scoring from both distance and aggressive drives. In the paint, Mo Diabate and Brandon Garrison form an intimidating duo. Diabate, with his size and agility, is a reliable target for passes inside the paint, while Garrison demonstrates a physical presence that few centers can match. Kentucky's center rotation, comprised of Garrison, Jaden Quaintance, and Malachi Moreno, is another strong point that can make all the difference throughout the season. These players not only offer reliable alternatives, but also possess the ability to change the pace of the game with their defensive presence and finishing ability. But what truly sets Kentucky apart this season is its depth. While many teams rely solely on their starting 5, the Wildcats have a bench that could easily be considered the best in the country. Players like Cam Williams, Colin Chandler, Jasper Johnson, Andrea Jelavic, Trent Noah, and Braden Hawthorne are ready to step in and maintain the team's competitive level, even when key players need rest. This ability to rotate the roster without compromising quality of play is rare and extremely valuable, especially in such a long and grueling season. Defensively, Kentucky has all the tools to be one of the most dominant teams in the country. The versatility of their players allows them to switch between different defensive schemes, from aggressive pressure to tight man-to-man marking. Owa, in particular, is a relentless defender who can neutralize the best opposing guards, while Garrison and Moreno are veritable walls in the paint. This combination of physical strength and tactical intelligence makes the Wildcats a thorn in the side of any team they face. Furthermore, Mark Pope's leadership has been a crucial factor in the program's growing success. In his second season at Kentucky, Pope has already demonstrated his understanding of college basketball culture and how to maximize his players' potential. His strategic approach, combined with his ability to motivate the group, has created an environment where athletes can thrive both individually and collectively. This is evident in the team's play. There's a clear synergy among the players, who seem to always be aligned with collective goals. With Purdue, UConn, and Houston holding the top spots in the preseason rankings, Kentucky faces fierce competition. However, this doesn't diminish the Wildcats' chances of competing for the national title. On the contrary, their prominent position in the rankings only reinforces the team's status as a major favorite. And with such a talented and well-structured roster, it would be a surprise if they weren't among the last teams standing at the end of the season. Under Pope, the team seems destined for great things. Kentucky basketball thrives on its traditions, but also on its ability to transform the names that have passed through the program into symbols. This week brought news that reinforces precisely this identity. Tayshaun Prince, an idol of one of the most remarkable generations of Wildcats, was officially inducted into Kentucky Sports Hall of Fame alongside another giant name for the university's fans, the multifaceted Randall Cobb. The celebration, held at Freedom Hall in Louisville, definitively sealed their place in the state's sports memory. Prince made his mark in Lexington between 1999 and 2002, not only for his refined offensive talent, but above all for his elegance and defensive impact that made him a role model. He earned 2 All-American selections, an SEC Player of the Year award, a conference tournament MVP title, and consistent campaigns that led Kentucky to 3 Sweet 16s and an Elite Eight. Those years, under maximum pressure and constant expectation, found Prince as a quiet but relentless leader. Later, in the NBA, his career with the Detroit Pistons solidified everything he had already demonstrated at Kentucky. League champion, 4-time All-Defensive selection, and as a highlight, a member of the United States Redeem Team at the Beijing Olympics, crowned with a gold medal. This legacy isn't just confined to the pages of history. For Kentucky basketball, under Mark Pope's leadership today, it's fuel. Having someone like Prince immortalized in the Hall of Fame reinforces to young athletes what it means to wear the blue and white. It's not just about statistics or immediate achievements, but about legacy, consistency, and respect earned on and off the court. On the other hand, Randall Cobb represents a versatility that defines many of the great athletes who have come from the state. Although his greatest glory came in football, his joint induction with Prince highlights something essential. The Hall of Fame is not just a museum of trophies, but a space to recognize the ability to transform sports into culture and collective pride. Cobb, who's shown in multiple roles for Kentucky before a long and productive NFL career, shares this immortalization as part of the class of 2025. The symbolic detail is inevitable. 2 historic numbers, 18 and 21, are now among Kentucky's greatest, in a recognition that transcends statistics and establishes both as benchmarks for the future. For Mark Pope, who seeks to build a new competitive chapter for the Wildcats, this type of celebration helps cement a link with the past. The presence of legends like Prince immortalized on home soil reinforces the message that Kentucky is not just a college basketball program. It is an institution that shapes careers and, above all, sports symbols. Let's move forward. In a strategic move already generating excitement among fans, for star point guard Jason Gardner Jr., a standout in the class of 2027, is set to visit Lexington on October 18th. The player announced to a sea of blue. The event not only provides an opportunity for the young prospect to get to know the program's facilities and environment, but also reinforces Pope's long-term vision for the future of Kentucky basketball. Gardner, a native of Fishers, Indiana, is a versatile point guard whose presence on the court has already attracted the attention of several elite programs. With confirmed offers from universities such as Iowa, Texas, Oklahoma State, Creighton, Ohio State, Purdue, and even Indiana, his home state, the young player has demonstrated maturity and discernment in his recruitment process. Although Kentucky has not yet formalized a scholarship offer, the scheduled October visit suggests that mutual interest is growing. It's been really good. We're building a great relationship with them, Gardner said in his conversations with the Kentucky staff. This simple yet meaningful statement reveals that the program is not only keeping an eye on its talent, but also investing in genuine connections with prospects. Pope's arrival has brought new energy to the team, and the focus on the future, especially the 2026 and 2027 classes, demonstrates a clear strategic vision. Recruiting so early may seem unusual to some, but in the highly competitive college basketball landscape, building relationships before other programs step up their game is crucial. Gardner's visit represents exactly that. A chance to put Kentucky on the mind of one of the best players of his generation while he's still formulating his choices. Furthermore, the interest in Gardner goes beyond his physical and technical abilities. He's a modern point guard, capable of creating plays for himself and his teammates, with a reliable shot and a winning mentality. His game, combined with the developmental philosophy implemented by Pope and his coaching staff, could yield exceptional results should he decide to don the blue and white uniform. And while it's too early to predict any official decision, the October visit could be the first step toward a promising partnership. Another interesting aspect of this story is how it reflects Kentucky's strength as an ideal destination for ambitious players. Even without a formal offer at the moment, Gardner is willing to explore what the program has to offer. This speaks volumes about Kentucky's reputation and the work Pope has done since his arrival. Building a solid relationship based on transparency and commitment has been a hallmark of this new chapter for program. For fans, seeing names like Gardner associated with Kentucky is a sign that the future can be as bright as the team's glorious past. Jason Gardner Jr.'s visit isn't just about him or Kentucky. It's a broader reflection of the college basketball ecosystem, where every choice, every call, and every encounter can alter the course of a season or even a career. For Mark Pope, this is yet another example of how his leadership is shaping the program's destiny. And for Kentucky fans, it's proof that, even amidst change and challenges, the pursuit of excellence remains the top priority. We'll see how this plays out. Do you think he'll sign on? Comment